Welcome to episode one. The first episode.
The inaugural episode.
Inaugural pilot. Well, fuck the pilot. It's called inaugural. The inaugural podcast. We haven't came up with a title yet, but I am Arneezy. Got Alpha Chaos right here next to me. So the purpose of this podcast today and any future ones, basically a gaming podcast. We talk about gaming news, different types of genre of games coming out, our impressions of certain games coming out, things in the fighting game community as well, because we follow that as well. So, as our inaugural episode, I hope you guys enjoy all this. And, as always, you can follow us on the tweeters, at Arneezy619, at Alpha Chaos 13. We also stream on Twitch as well. All the links will be, down there in that little description box. Maybe we might put an annotation like right here, like on your face.
There'll be magic happening.
Like on your face, right?
Yeah, just
okay, whatever.
Right there.
So, first things first. We gotta say, might be some language here. I mean, I think I did swear about 2 minutes ago, but there's gonna be some swearing because we're grown.
We're grown
ass people. We have our own lives. We're grown. We got kids. The kids are away because they don't need to hear this shit. But let's get right down to it. So, first topic, I actually really wanted to talk about this since yesterday, because this was when it happened. Yesterday, Konami, you know them, the bad guys,
the
right?
Pachinko guys.
The Pachinko guys, the bad people. They announced Metal Gear Survive. Okay, this is it's a Konami published game.
With the Metal Gear name.
With the Metal Gear name, without the creator himself, Hideo Kojima. For those of you that really don't know, Hideo Kojima just basically got royally screwed by Konami. They just basically fired him and just said, oh, hey, we're going to keep the Metal Gear name.
It was a hostile takeover of his own stuff.
Yeah, basically it was a hostile takeover because anyone that associates, Metal Gear, they know it's Hideo Kojima. Yes. Even though Hideo did a bunch of other work, Police Knots, which I have not played. I wish I had played because it looks fantastic. I think it was on the Saturn, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. And he helped out with Castlevania Lords of Shadow a bit, which
and then PT.
Yeah, PT was amazing as well. Like, it was going to be a great Silent Hill game that was actually going to go back to its roots. And I will tell you, when I played the demo of it, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It did, and I was just like, I'm seriously looking forward to this. And teaming up with Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro, man, that would have been great. But Konami was like, no, we're not going to do that. And so,
let's not make money.
Yeah, let's not make money. Like, they abandoned the Castlevania franchise, basically, which is why the creator of that basically made a Kickstarter for his own game.
Which looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks amazing. It's like, this is what you could be doing, Konami. But anyways, we both saw the trailer for Metal Gear Survive. It's a sequel to Phantom Pain or Ground Zeroes 1 or 2. It's basically set in an alternate timeline with zombies in it.
Zombies.
Zombies.
They're not actually zombies. They're like weird mechanical, like symbiote kind of taking over people thing.
I don't know what they were.
It definitely had like an alien kind of feel to it, where like they stepped in like a puddle of like some Area 51 shit, right. And then like that thing was like, well, this is mine now, and then it made babies, and then they were attacking a fence.
They were attacking a fence. I mean,
this is like season 3 of The Walking Dead, just attacking the fence, just like, oh hey, we want in, you got stuff.
And they got like, I believe I saw some futuristic weaponry in there, and
both futuristic and a little primitive at the same time. Yeah, because like the main thing the very prominent thing in the trailer was the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
like the chick was just like, and then just held it like what?
Right, and from what I was seeing, there was like not really much of the Metal Gear staple that it was known for. Metal Gear Solid. The Metal Gear franchise as a whole basically was known for its stealth, action. Really, there was no need. You don't have to kill somebody. You don't have to go in guns blazing. Things like that.
Yeah.
And it was all about stealth and espionage and 1-hour long cutscenes. Things like I played the Phantom Pain. I enjoyed it a bit. But it wasn't the same as the previous Metal Gears. It was different, but it had its core gameplay still in it. I consider Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 4 possibly the best ones in the series. Things like that. And then, I played Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It didn't have much to do with Hideo. He was there a little bit, but, he basically passed it off to Platinum Games because, Hideo wanted something outside of the realm of Metal Gear Solid.
He was there to,
so that's why there was,
the assets.
Yeah,
and
that's why there was no Solid in the title. It was just Metal Gear Revengeance, things like that. So... which turned out to be not a bad game. It was short, but, it was not a bad game. I actually had fun with that. But the fact that Konami actually has the balls to just release a Metal Gear game...
that isn't pachinko.
That isn't pachinko, even though there is a Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine in Japan. The fact that they're going to release an actual game on consoles and PC that has the Metal Gear name to it, I mean, not only does that make me disappointed, it's kind of like a huge kick to the nuts. I mean, with I've been a Metal Gear Solid fan forever. I didn't even know there was a game before Metal Gear Solid until the internet told me that, hey, there were actually 2 Metal Gear games that came out in Japan only. And we're like, what the hell?
Well, no, one came out in the States, but it wasn't.
It wasn't like Metal Gear.
Yeah,
it was freaking.
It borrowed the name.
And
then it was like its own thing. It was its own entity.
And it had Kyle Reese in it.
Yeah,
because the cover looks like Kyle Reese. But other than that, so when Metal Gear Survive was announced, fans were pissed. Yeah. I mean, I was mad. You were mad. We're like, what the fuck? I basically tweeted to Konami, no, no.
I believe it was Hideo himself. It's just one word, stop. Somebody tweeted that.
Somebody tweeted that.
I remember seeing that. It was a big thing. They're just like, just stop. Maybe it was Norman Reedus. I don't know. Somebody big was just like, no, stop.
Yeah, and the fact that one of my favorite tweets was by Team YP.
Yeah.
Hideo looking at Konami announcing Metal Gear Survive. It was Kobe Bryant looking at somebody all mean and everything. Just like,
we'll have a thing popped up here-ish.
Yeah, and things like this. So that was actually pretty funny. And, a couple friends of mine, we were discussing about it. I said, look, it's going to tank. This game is going to tank. No one's going to like it. Oh, well, some people will like it. Maybe like the newer crowd.
See, from what my takeaway from it, it looks like it's going to be a good game for what it is. It's stupid that they tied Metal Gear to it. It's not a Metal Gear game.
It's not.
Let's be honest. It's not a Metal Gear game. If they would have put it out in the market under a different name and just had nothing to do with Metal Gear or anything, it might be a good game.
Yeah, man.
It looks great. But then again, that's also thanks to Hideo and the Fox engine.
Exactly.
Which for some reason they still use.
Yeah.
I figured he would have some kind of patent on that since he developed it from the ground up.
I figured he would have a patent on Metal Gear, the franchise itself.
Well, apparently that's a very big gray area between him and Konami. It was in his contract or something like that. There's stuff you can look up and read.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah. But the fact is that maybe if they named it something else. If they named it, I don't know, Space Zombie Shitstorm or whatever, what is
the Saints Row game now?
It could be. I mean, open world is a big thing nowadays, sandbox and all that. Because, we want the, developers and publishers want to keep the value of the game. That's why.
Yeah. I think that's why that's why it's Metal Gear Survive. Because
just to get some sales.
Konami, let's face it, with everything with Hideo going on and Silent Hills going on, they're hurting, and their whole push was like, oh no, we're gonna do the pachinko machines and we're gonna do mobile games. That was their whole focus, and then they realized like, oh my god, we are losing money.
Yeah, because pachinko is Japan.
Yeah,
that's not a thing we have here.
It's a novelty here.
Yeah,
it's one of those things to where like you might go to like an Oriental store or like just a friend's house who happens to collect that kind of stuff and see it. Chinatown or stuff like that.
The Yakuza games actually have a pachinko machine you can actually play in.
Yeah, just go play virtual pachinko.
Yeah, that too. And you'll actually, I think Yakuza 5, you actually have like I think 4 and 5, you actually have a trophy for like playing like a certain number of pachinko games in the game. So.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So I mean, it's a, pachinko you know, that tailors to the Japanese crowd, or, you know, those overseas. We really don't have shit right now from Konami. I mean, Castlevania's gone. I can't believe there was Zone of the Enders is gone.
Zone of the Enders is gone. Silent Hills. Silent Hills isn't gone.
Isn't gone.
It's pachinko.
It's pachinko now.
We
don't have Silent Hill. You know, we don't, those, like, Zone of the Enders, I mean, I can kind of understand why about Zone of the Enders, because it was one of those niche games.
But it was good.
It was good. It was fun. It's like I was playing an episode of Gundam.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, if he needs to make another one, he's got to. He's got free reign. I mean, he's already basically making Silent Hills. I mean, with the new Norman Reedus games.
Death Stranding. I'm actually looking forward to Death Stranding.
Yeah.
That looks amazing.
I guarantee that's going to be his Silent Hills rebuttal.
Yeah.
He's working with the same people. It's going to be like the same thing, but maybe more in his vision versus like a previous existing franchise's vision.
Yeah, he wants something original besides, you know, Metal Gear.
Yeah.
You know, but he can't make any more Metal Gears anymore because...
Well, he can make not Metal Gear.
And call it what? Not Metal Gear? But the fact that, you know, Konami is actually doing this, you know, it's going to get some people in on it, like the newer generation.
Yeah, that's all it's going to get.
Because, you know, people that have been playing, you know, games for 15 years or so, like you and I have, you know, we are always going to be skeptical about things coming out now.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm just going to call us like, we're basically we're the gaming generation. We grew up at the peak of the Nintendo Genesis wars. We were there for PS1, PS2. We were there from like when it started getting good and onward. We're the gaming generation is going to understand. You know, we're going to look at this and be like, no.
Like, it's like right now.
We know. We're in the know. We know what's going on with Konami and Hideo. Yeah. We know that Hideo's not like... He's got to be furious.
Oh, he's not.
Because that's his baby. Let's face it. Even though they're just using basically the name and not really like the characters, from what I've seen so far at least, you know, he's got to be a little upset that they're at least using the name for something other than like pachinko and poker machines and whatever they're doing.
He's got to be upset. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he was, you know, upset. You know, because... That's something he created. And yet the fact that Konami has the rights to Metal Gear, that's kind of bullshit. That's like if I made like a pizza. Like I call and like if I made like a certain pizza and it was just like that awesome and like I had my own name slapped on it, and then Pizza Hut's like, oh yeah, that's ours now. Yeah,
you invented the pepperoni pizza, and Pizza Hut was just like, get out of here.
You know what I mean?
Get out of here. This is our pizza.
And I don't even know if like what happened like outside of the doors of Konami and Hideo. Like
no one's talking.
Did they give him a good lump sum of money to keep the Metal Gear name, or because he created it, or, you know, who knows?
See, I wouldn't even think so. Because if I was Hideo and that was the case, you know, they gave him some money to let Konami keep the Metal Gear name, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
Because let's face it, when you think of Konami in this day and age, at least, you think Metal Gear. Like that's the most prominent thing Konami has.
Yeah.
If you're the guy that made it, you're not going to let them take that from you.
Right.
You're going to hold on to that as best as you can.
Yeah.
At the very least, maybe they do some, you know, co-publishing or something of a Metal Gear game just so they can kind of retain some of that money flow from it. But you're not going to just straight up give somebody your baby.
Right.
You know? I don't care how much money that was, because you can still continue to produce games, even though I believe Hideo has gone on record saying that was kind of like the last Metal Gear, at least for a while, because he wants to do other things.
He wanted the Phantom Pain to be his last one.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to move on, which, you know...
I don't blame him.
I mean, he's done Metal... Like, the only reason why he did Metal Gear Solid 3... I mean, not Metal Gear Solid... Metal Gear Solid 4... was because people were threatening him to, basically. Yeah. But it turned out great. It still turned out great.
Oh, yeah.
But he wanted to make something else outside of Metal Gear. You know, I actually would like him to see... You know, if he continues making games, like kind of to revisit the Police Knots franchise, you know, because that game looked pretty cool. Probably just revamp it a bit in his own vision, see what he wanted to do with it. Because, you know, back on the Saturn, you know, of course, even they had technical limitations back then. But, you know, with now we have this new hardware
where everything basically looks like a CG movie.
Basically, I mean, you know. my prediction for Death Stranding is going to be 40 hours of gameplay, 42 hours of cutscenes. But I mean, because that's Kojima though. But he basically whatever he does just ends up being great. Things like that.
He spends a lot of time though.
He does.
He works on everything. He makes sure everything's perfect, and he even tries to make it an experience. Because I know a lot of his inspiration comes from movies.
Exactly.
And that's
he's a big movie fan.
He wants to portray the stuff that he's seen in movies that he might not necessarily get to do in movies, and just like portray it in his own work in video games.
Right.
Which is great. That's what we need. We need more people like Hideo, making games. Because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of games now are just like point, shoot, have fun.
Well,
and there's nothing else to it.
Basically, a lot of them now are just, cookie cutter copies of whatever the previous game was.
Yeah, basically, every shooter's a cookie cutter copy of Call of Duty.
Yeah. Things like that, But we're going to see. We should see what would happen with this. Am I going to get Metal Gear Survive? Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe as a rental, or if
I'm not going to not play it, but I'm going to go out of my way to not buy it.
Exactly.
If I somehow come into a circumstance to where I'm given the game, or it's dirt cheap, and my interest is peaked enough to at least give it a purchase. Maybe way down the line when it's like $20 in a grab box. I'm
not grabbing it, and I can see all the employees of video game stores now, pushing that pre-order.
Yeah.
Oh man, but as I say, I'm not going to buy it day one.
I'm probably not going to buy it like day 100. Maybe like a couple years down the line.
I might buy it, if it's going to end up in a bargain bin or something.
Exactly.
Even if it gets, rave reviews and from users and critics alike, I'm not going to get it. I mean, hell, it took me 25 years to play A Link to the Past. That's possibly one of the greatest SNES games that ever come out. And I'm finally, playing it.
Yeah.
So.
Which is amazing. I don't know how you've gone this long without playing it.
I have no idea how.
I mean, I've played it on multiple occasions, but I didn't actually fully enjoy it until I was older.
So, final verdict for what would you say, out of 10, what would you say you'd give the trailer?
Just on the trailer?
Yeah, just on the trailer that was released yesterday. On
the trailer, I would say I would give it like a 7 out of 10, only because the trailer it does look good, but it's on the Fox engine, everything looks cool, but the game as a whole, I don't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd probably give the trailer about a 6.5. Just because, I mean, it looks pretty. But the fact is, the Metal Gear name is just slapped on there, always, it'll have a bitter taste, Yeah. It's like one of those things where you go in, and it's like, man, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
That's that feeling I got when I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer twice just to make sure I'm seeing what I was seeing. Because,
I didn't even give it that courtesy. I saw it once and I was like, cool.
The fact that one of my headlines on my app that I pull up, the first thing it says was Konami announces Metal Gear Survive, and it's like, what?
Yeah. The only thing that I'm going to give this game, probably in its entire life, the only thing I'll give it is that one arrow that they shoot at the end of the trailer was really badass.
Well, the trailer, the arrow was pretty cool, but
that's the only thing I'm going to give that game.
but you can't just get a game based on one weapon alone.
Yeah. I want to see that in The Walking Dead or some movie. Just I want to see that arrow, more of that arrow. Should make that arrow the game, not Metal Gear.
Yeah, just arrow.
Yeah, arrow.
Without too much confusion to the hero or the show.
No, just give Green Arrow that arrow. Put that arrow on the arrow show.
I think Hawkeye has something like that. As an arrow.
Hawkeye doesn't have gadgets. The only thing he has is stun arrows, and that's about
he has trap arrows too.
But he doesn't have a boxing glove.
You ever play Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yeah, I have. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
We should get back on track here.
Yeah, we should. That's what a podcast does. We get off track, So,
Next up, we have that September update for Street Fighter V.
Yeah, the September update for Street Fighter V. So,
we want to read off what it includes, just in case.
I can see it from here. Well, not exactly, but I know what's in it. So, the September update for Street Fighter V is coming out in September, hopefully not October. Because the July update was August. Oh man!
It doesn't look like it has an exact date from what I'm reading here.
They're not gonna release an exact date until like
not even like a time frame.
No, they're not. It's Capcom.
They do have a date for the Double Fight Money event, which is the 2nd through the 4th, if that even holds true.
Yeah, I mean the 2nd through the 4th. I mean Double Fight Money for what? Was it just online matches?
Let's see here. It just says ranked matches. Players will be given the chance to double fight money earnings in ranked matches.
You know what double fight money is? That's 100 fight money. That's 100 fight money because you get 50 for every ranked match you win.
And they're just really pulling out all the stops on that one, huh?
Yeah, they really. You know how long it takes to grind? I mean, the only easiest way to grind for fight money is to do the single player stuff. You know, do survival with the characters. Which fucking survival is broken as hell.
Yeah.
Especially even on normal, it's broken as hell.
Don't even get me started on that, man. You know my gripe with
that. Doing each character's story, which only takes 5 freaking minutes if you skip all the cutscenes, 10 if you don't. You know, it doesn't take that long. You can complete, like, if for those that bought the game day one like we did, you know, I did the character story which was for the 16 characters at the time. I finished that shit in 30 minutes. You know, that's with the cutscenes.
See, it took me a while to do the story. Like, I only did the story ones for the characters I was going to play, so, like, Ken and Rashid and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, like, a month ago when I found out that I was actually going to have to start paying for my characters that I was like, crap, I got to grind. Because at first we were just like, Alex, take him. And then Guile came out, and they were like, take him. And then I think it was the jury update, and it's just like, you got to buy everything.
No, it was the Ibuki update.
It was the Ibuki
Balrog update.
And then they're like, you got to buy everybody now.
Speaking of Ibuki, we were there at Combo Breaker when they revealed it. That was pretty good.
The hype.
That was the hype. You could feel the hype. But anyhow, the update. Anyway, so the order to get more fight money is do all the single player stuff. The cinematic story, both normal and hard, survivals, the trial modes. You can even get fight money by watching the demonstrations and shit like that from the tutorial.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. You know, other than that, you got to get the rest of your fight money in online. And as I said, you know, me, since, you know, I have better internet than you.
Yeah.
You know, I play ranked matches and you get 50 fight money for every time you win. Sometimes maybe more, you know, depending on. I've seen I got like 100 to 200 for going against someone that's a higher rank than I was.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But other than that, double fight money for ranked matches, that's. Now, they had double fight money for like some of the single player stuff, then cool, that sounds great. You know, but the amount of grind it takes, because I think I read somewhere that it would take, I think 1,800 rank or like 1,000 ranked match wins to get like a character. If I remember correctly, I don't remember the article, but I think I read somewhere about that. So the September, so double fight money, whatever. It's not that impressive to me. It's not that impressive to, you know, the people that play it a lot. You know, things like that. So it's just really not that impressive.
I think it's a good stepping stone, though, for events.
If they want to have the stepping stone, they should at least ramp it up. Here's what they should have done. You know, since they want to announce double fight money, they should give us free fight money for the shitty launch they had. I mean, because I could not play online day one. I could not play it at all. Like, I could play, but I wasn't getting fight money. Because you got to be online to get fight money. You got to be connected online. Half the times I wasn't even online. Even during the single player shit. Even though when I was doing the character stories and training mode and all that, I would get logged out of the server and everything. And then also trying to find a match was just impossible that day. What they should have done, for that is they should at least give us some fight money. I'm not saying a lot. Maybe a good $50K, whatever. Things like that. So, and the fact that, now with the September update, they're actually going to, season pass holders will be able to have colors 3 through 10 for the 6 DLC characters, along with the battle costumes, the colors for that as well.
And then the premium costumes also include colors 3 through 10.
Yeah, the premium costume will have colors 3 through 10 as well. So I mean that's nice because survival mode is. I mean, I tell you that survival mode is just.
I hate it as much as I want to love it. I hate it because for me that's really the only practice I get unless I come hang out here with you and have our fight nights.
Yeah.
Survival is my main way of getting my training in, and if I can face roll through like all the stages up until 27, 28, and 29
on normal.
Yeah, it goes from like being super super easy to them just being like, you know what? No, you're not winning. And then like it always something always happens, some stupid bullshit. Yeah. They just ramp up the difficulty way too fast.
It does.
It's like they don't want you to beat it.
Right. And so, I believe it also says we're getting 3 through 10 for the other characters as well. I think I did hear that somewhere. I don't think it's stated on there.
It says free colors for season pass holders, colors 3 through 10 for the default and battle costumes of 6 DLC characters. Mm-hmm. And then premium costumes will now include colors 3 through 10. Mm-hmm. And then all 22 colors, default and story costumes, color pack 3 through 10. But I think that's just a bundle you can buy with fight money.
Yeah.
Or real money.
I hope season pass owners get that. Because, we spent the $30 for it.
At the very least, they should include a good majority of the DLC, like the beach stuff. I can understand the Ring of Destiny stuff. I can understand that.
I can understand if a portion of that $25 goes to the Capcom Pro Tour, but we don't know what portion of it goes through there. And so also on the September update, Urian will be released. Everyone thought he was going to be released this month, but that did not happen. So I guess Urian is probably not that finished yet, even though PC modders have been able to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
And he looks kind of finished to me, but they probably need to do some balance tweaks and stuff like that. Oh, and also the long-awaited promised daily challenges. They are finally going to do that, the thing that they have promised for so long. I wonder what these daily challenges are going to be. I hope it's not some stupid, like, jump 4 times or dodge projectiles.
I can honestly see it being like completing so many matches in ranked, or just winning matches, so many matches in ranked. Maybe completing one of the survivals or something like that.
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition actually had like these different challenges, where you can get vault points for buying the extra gallery stuff in the gallery. There were some challenges like throw this many fireballs or block this many times or parry a full super or whatever, different challenges like that. So I wonder if it's going to be something like that,
that'd be cool.
Or like they had like certain trials, like beat this character. Like there was one with Akuma where you had to beat Ryu on ultra hard, but you have like 0 health, so basically you die in 1 hit. So I hope they have something interesting like that, because like Street Fighter 5 needs to be fresh. Like it was not a good launch.
No, it was very bare bones.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the only reason why they did it was to kick off the Capcom Pro Tour, so it was for the competitive scene. It wasn't really tailored to the casual crowd, even though it is a little easier now to pull off combos with 3-frame links instead of the more difficult 1-frame links of Street Fighter 4. The casual crowd doesn't like online too much. There's no arcade mode. They're going to put in a versus CPU mode,
which is like a pseudo arcade mode.
Yeah, which is a pseudo arcade mode in a September update, but it's not the arcade mode that people want. That some people want. And things like that. So, I was watching someone stream, and I forgot what game it was called. And I was looking at it, and he was like, "Oh man, you can go get this and get that, and you can also earn, the game currency to get this." And I typed in chat, "Oh, more content than Street Fighter V," because it's actually true. And as a person like myself that has played Street Fighter for 23 years, I like Street Fighter V. A lot of people don't. Sometimes I hate Street Fighter V. Sometimes I don't. And I've had so much fun with the older titles like Third Strike, Super Turbo. Oh, I even enjoy Street Fighter 4. Something about Street Fighter 5 kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it can be better, of what content they want to put in there and things like that. Because what Capcom, I don't know if they realize this, and I have no idea why. When Street Fighter 4 launched, it came with an abundance of stuff. It had arcade mode, it had, the training mode, it had the online, it had a good amount of characters at launch. I mean, you had to unlock more, but you could unlock them instead of buy them. And also they had trials, they had survival, they had time attack mode. It had a robust amount of content in there for, when it came out. And that was really cool. So when Street Fighter V comes out and you had all these bare bones, just not much stuff was on there. I mean, and the fact that it's taking them months to actually fix the game, in general. I mean, the netcode still is not great. Sometimes it'll take me 5 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes to find a match. And the fact is that, in Street Fighter 4, you were able to search different lobbies and things like that, like for ranked matches or one-on-one. You would just begin your search. You want to face someone that has the same skill as you. You want to be in the same region. Hit search, and a bunch of players just pops up, and you just select that player. Boom. Now it's completely different. You don't even know who you're going against, and the fact that it takes like 5, sometimes 10 minutes, maybe a little more to at least find a match. And everyone's gonna pick, because you could, in the battle settings, you can pick, what kind of connection you want. Everyone's gonna pick 5 only. Everyone wants 5 bars, because no one wants to play with lag, especially in fighting games. It's stupid. It sucks, despite the fact that the PlayStation 4 version have 8 frames of input lag, which is also stupid. And things like that. So what Street Fighter needs to do, they need to basically fix things like their new rage quit system, because they implemented a new rage quit system today. Basically, if you rage quit 4 times, you will get a 24-hour ban and you lose 1,000 league points. But there's actually a workaround with that, and I think you told me about it.
Yeah. So I actually closed out of it here not that long ago, but it was something along the lines of if you rage quit twice, you're good for like an hour, and then you can rage quit twice again without getting the full 24-hour ban.
Right. So there's always
right here. Actually,
there's going to be always a workaround to it. So they need. I mean, rage quitters have always been a problem with any game. No matter what game it is. But those publishers, developers actually do something about it. For like the first few months, everybody was rage quitting in Street Fighter 5. They were. Like, I had so many rage quitters, it wasn't even funny.
They need to implement the Blizzard way of doing things.
That would be nice.
Because Blizzard's not messing around with Overwatch.
No, they're not.
You cheat, you're gone. You're done. And I mean, let's face it, cheating's not really as big a problem as rage quitting is.
Yeah.
So I mean, just implement that. At the very least, make it a very extreme soft ban. So like, if you're gonna soft ban somebody, don't do it for 24 hours. Do it for maybe like a week. Do it for like a month. Do something serious. So like, they're actually out of the game for quite a long period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, 24 hours is like, that's nothing.
No.
I mean, most people can just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just come back tomorrow. No big deal.
Right. And the fact that, you know, this even if they implemented a new rage quitting system, there's always a workaround to it. I mean, they keep saying that they're always trying to fix the game. And a lot of people are just getting antsy about it, you know, about if they're actually going to fully fix the game. The fact that, you know, a lot of people spent full price on a non-finished game at first, you know, that was just... I mean, granted, I myself as a fan, you know, bought the fancy $70 one with the reused statue that's somewhere around my house.
Yeah, I was actually looking for it because it used to be right there.
Because, like, it fell off too much. So.
I know your pain.
But, you know, things like that. But still, it's just like, with the amount of money that was spent for this amount of for a little amount of content, it's basically what the norm is nowadays. You know, especially with DLC, you know, software updates and all. That's basically what the normal is. Like, anytime you buy a game now, it ain't even finished.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what the game is. Grand Theft Auto 5 wasn't even finished.
The single player was.
Yeah.
But
the single player was.
But they even, at least with that, they at least had the courtesy of letting everybody know right off the bat that the online portion wasn't finished and it wasn't going to be releasing for a while.
Right.
I mean, if Capcom would have at the very least have done that and made it very prominently stated that, you know, we're not finished with the game just yet.
Yeah.
We're still working on a few things, but it's there for you to get it.
Yeah.
And at the very least, you don't have to pay real money to get your characters.
Right.
That's my big thing. A lot of places will do, or a lot of companies and games will do DLC where you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I like the option of earning it in-game. Granted, it might take you freaking forever because of the amount of fight money you get, but at least that option is still there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to bust your ass with a certain character to even earn that much fight money to unlock a new character, and you're gonna spend all that time with that new character. So
exactly. I mean, it's cool that a lot of the stuff in the game you can buy with fight money, but fuck, a lot of them are expensive.
Yeah,
a stage is 40,000 fight money. The Balrogs was 70.
Yeah, it wasn't the beach 70 as well.
But yeah, beach was 70 as well. So, you know, even though some of the colors are cheap, because some of the other stuff is not. Like the story costume is like $40K.
Yeah,
you know, so it's just like, why?
And some of the story costumes aren't even all that great, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
You know, that's. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. So things like that.
All right.
Since we're still on the topic of Street Fighter V, we got the Red Bull Proving Grounds going on. Different cities. The one we are all cool with is the ones in Chicago, since we're actually close to Chicago. It just announced today that there's going to be an online tournament on the 29th and 30th of this month, one day after Mix Up Monthly, which is a Red Bull Proving Grounds event. You know, for going into the Capcom Pro Tour qualifier tournament, which is pretty cool. So the online tournaments are cool because, you know, you don't have to spend money. You know, it's free to enter. You just got to register with Smash GG. By the time when I saw they have a cap of 512 for each bracket. From what I saw about an hour or so ago, they're at, I think, 170 something participants as of the time I looked at it. So with online tournaments, there's restrictions there's rules. You got to have at least 5 down and 2 up. 5 megabytes down, 2 megabytes up. Actually, I think Capcom Pro Tour had it at 10 megabytes down, and then 2 megabytes per second up. So with the whole online tournament, how do you feel? Let's go with you. How do you feel about online tournaments?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of games that have been doing online tournaments for forever. Counter-Strike, Hearthstone. I mean, basically any shooter on PC has done some sort of online tournament, and it works out very well. I think Street Fighter is... I think it's a good fit for it, or at least fighting games in general, just because there's a lot of people that either can't make it out to the bigger venues in the cities in their respective state. They don't have people to go with. They can't carpool with anybody. They don't know anybody, so they just can't make it, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's a good way for people to get some tournament experience and, you know, just have fun.
Yeah. And the fact that it's free to enter. You know, the Capcom Pro Tour North America one filled up in about an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had to be put on a waiting list, you know, because I was going to compete in it, and it was just like, no, you got to wait.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, there was an issue for the Latin America CPT event, the online event. There was one match, I forgot whose it was, but there was one. It was so lagging. It was so laggy, like for real. It was like, and people were just questioning about that. Like, you know, it was because it was a person from, I believe, Brazil, who was going up against someone in Central America. So the distance, you know, was causing, you know, the lag and everything.
Yeah.
You know, especially like if you have, I've noticed that in my online matches, I would go up against someone in like Asia, and there would be some lag there because of the distance, you know, or ones in Europe, you know, things like that. So if lag is gonna be an issue, and there's really no way of telling if the person is using a wired or wireless connection, you know, I don't know how online tournaments will go for certain things. What I think they should have done was kind of divided like Latin America a bit. They probably just stay with South America and make Central America part of the North American one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at least Central America is a little closer to, you know, Mexico, to North America and things like that. So that way, you know, there wouldn't be, you know, so much gripe about it, you know, and things like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of online tournaments because, you know, we've only been to one tournament this year, which was Combo Breaker, which was possibly the best thing I've ever seen, you know.
Yeah.
Best weekend I had in my life was being at Combo Breaker, you know, besides being married and having kids. Having fun at Combo Breaker was basically one of my top moments right there. And the fact that I was able to compete in that, even though I didn't even make it out of my pools, I didn't care. I had so much fun there.
It's the experience that
counts.
The
experience was the one that counts, and it was great. And, you know, what James Chen actually told me, you know, not to take my results at face value, just be there to have fun and just be there for the experience. And which is possibly great advice that I got from James, you know, when I was chatting with him for a bit, you know, things like that. So, and when someone who has been with the FGC forever, you better listen to what he says.
Yeah.
You better listen to what he says, because he's been there back and been there again, you know, things like that. James Chen is an OG, things like that. So,
yeah.
But, I'm debating if I want to do the online tournament. I'm not entirely sure yet. There are two brackets, one that starts at 7 Pacific time and one that starts at 7 Eastern time. So,
I mean, it can't hurt.
It can't hurt. I mean, it's free to enter.
And I believe if you win, don't you get an all expenses paid trip to the respected Proving Ground event?
Yeah, you did. That's Seattle, Washington.
The trade-off is good. I mean, you pay no money, and if you win it, you know, you're good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a few days to think about it, I think.
Yeah.
So.
They should really do some kind of proofing before they actually go into matches. Like, maybe, like, because I assume they're going to stream it or something.
Yeah.
they should really do some like have an account set up so they can just fight somebody that's like tournament runner.
Yeah.
Just to kind of test the latency and see what's going on there.
Yeah, because speed test photos can be altered. So.
Or you can just grab a speed test. There's plenty of people on forums, and I'm sure if I just Google it right now, I can find you a bunch of pictures and be like, yeah, I have a gigabyte download. Sweet,
yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, right.
They should really they should do some testing if they're going to be this serious about it, because that's the last thing that you want to do is get into a match with somebody and then just it'd be like pure lag.
Right.
Like when I play online.
I'm never playing online with you ever again.
Well, not in Street Fighter, at least.
No.
Not in Street Fighter.
So Tekken 7 is coming out early next year. It was just announced that Lee Chaolan and his alter ego Violet was announced. Oh, and the fact that you can play as Kid Kazuya in story mode, that's just great. And a stage for Claudio, one of the new characters. The fact that you can play as Kid Kazuya, and he looks exactly like the one in the freaking Tekken movie from the animated one. It looks just like him. It looks just like him, and it's just like, man, this is really some shades of watching that one movie that no one cares about, things like that. I mean, don't get me started on the second live action one.
I actually like the live action one.
I don't know, man. Something about it was just...
Okay, granted, there was something about it that was like kind of cheesy and like, did they really make this? But at the same time, look at other video game movies. It wasn't that bad compared to other video game movies.
Right.
I mean, the Dead or Alive movie is just garbage, and Tekken 7 just sitting there like, look at me. You know what Kid Kazuya reminds me of, though?
Who?
Because when I first saw it, I was sitting there, I was like, I know you know. I don't know if anybody else watching this is going to know, but in Dragon Ball Super, the arc with the tournament between Universe, was it 9 and 10 or whatever? Or 7 and 10?
6 and 7.
6 and 7, that's right. They had the Saiyan from the other universe.
Oh,
and he was kind of like a little Vegeta.
Yeah.
He was like a little Vegeta, but not like an exact copy of little Vegeta.
Right, and basically he thought he was Luffy doing the...
And he was really scrawny. That's what Kid Kazuya is. I can't think of his name.
I couldn't either. I might look it up. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
That's not that important.
It's not that important.
If you watch Dragon Ball Super, if you're caught up, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, he actually kind of does. So.
And the first thing I saw, I was like, oh my god.
His name was Cabo.
Cabot?
No, Cabo.
Cabo? You sure?
I think it was. I don't know.
You keep talking. I'll look.
But the fact that with Lee coming out.
It's Kaba.
Kaba. Okay.
Kaba.
Whatever. Cabbage.
There he is. Cabbage. Yeah. Because they're all named after some sort of vegetable.
Yep.
All the Saiyans are.
Yep. But I kind of like Lee's design in Tekken 7. See if I can find it. Yeah. I kind of like his design. He's got like this trench coat thing.
Trench coats are cool. I like trench coats.
And that's pretty cool, and then his Violet persona, has him wearing that purple shirt and the white pants, even though there it is. Even though it's after Labor Day or before Labor Day. He's got like this really cool like half trench coat looking thing with a suit.
It looks like he like just came from a fashion show and he got into a street fight.
Probably.
That's what it is.
I mean, he's all about the fancy stuff and the color purple, things like that. So that's with his.
He kind of in that one picture, he kind of reminded me of like a hipster tuxedo mask.
But yeah,
because he was holding the rose.
Yeah, he's holding a rose. He bows. But I don't play as Lee. I hardly play as him in the earlier titles, but seems to be pretty cool. The design is pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, his design. All the designs are super nice, super well polished.
Yeah, they really are. I like Steve Fox's because it reminds me of Balrog from Street Fighter.
Yeah,
things like that.
So it may be taking a while to get here, on consoles and whatnot, but they're taking their time and they're making sure that everything looks nice and runs smooth. Yeah. I mean, even from what we played at Combo Breaker, it was, to me, it felt like it was already ready to be on consoles. Like they could just port it out from that point and been good.
Yeah, but I'm glad they haven't released it yet, because like I think with the newest build of Fatal Retribution, Akuma got nerfed. He got nerfed a bit.
Well, Akuma was just bogus anyway.
He was fun to play with, though. I actually enjoyed it.
I thought he was going to be extremely out of place in that environment, because going from like a 2D fighter to a 3D fighter, I thought he was going to be super out of place and his moves weren't going to be portrayed very well. Yeah. But no, they did a damn good job. Yeah. Like he feels exactly like he does in Street Fighter.
He does. It was so fun. Like you can do like...
I've seen people bust out like the most insane combos with him too.
Oh yeah, dude!
Like it was crazy.
He was he's good. In 7.
He's a good character.
He is. I mean, he's probably gonna get nerfed.
He's gonna continuously get nerfed.
He is, because he's like his. I think the newest build, he doesn't build meter as fast as he used to. Things like that. But I mean, I'm still gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna get it day one.
I probably will too.
I'm gonna get it day one no matter what.
See, I know I suck at fighting games, but I'll stick in there. I'm learning. I'm working on my skills. Getting a little bit better, just a little bit.
So we got some Injustice 2 news.
They fixed Wonder Woman's face?
No, they did not.
Oh.
No.
It's not very big news then, is it?
The Harley Quinn and Deadshot were revealed yesterday. Harley Quinn looks way better than Wonder Woman. Like they made her face right.
and part of me only thinks that is because of the Suicide Squad movie and how they're pushing Harley Quinn and Deadshot everywhere. Yeah. And you can't have Wonder Woman level face on Harley Quinn and try and push it. No. But no, Harley Quinn looks good.
She does.
A lot of costumes are showcased for her, not so much Deadshot, which is interesting. Or armor, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be a costume or if it's like armor sets.
Part of the gear.
It could be a little both. Yeah. She feels like she's like the same character. They didn't really change much from what I've seen. I mean, she definitely has some new stuff going on, but it didn't really seem like they really overhauled her or anything like that. Yeah. Whereas Deadshot looked like...
It's Aaron Black.
He looked like he was just exactly...
it's Aaron Black.
God, what the fuck's his name? Deathstroke. He was Deathstroke without the sword.
It's Aaron Black.
Yeah.
That's what Deadshot... When I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, hey, it's Aaron Black. But I think Harley Quinn would be more fun to play than she was in the first one.
She looks more fast-paced.
Yeah, she looks like she has more tools now.
Yeah.
When Injustice 2 comes out, I'm gonna give Supergirl a try because she looks so much fun to play.
I know. I'm feeling Blue Beetle, and
it's the Jaime Reyes one. Yeah, that's a good one.
He doesn't get a lot of love in mainstream stuff.
You know, he really does not.
Like,
he really does not.
He's obviously in the comics. I think the only mainstream thing that I can think of that has him was I think he was in Young Justice for a little bit.
He was in Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
And Brave and the Bold. That was going to be my main thing. Yeah. And I think maybe like way back in the day, he was on the Justice League.
I think so.
The Bruce Timm one. He might have been.
He might
have had like a small... because that show had like everybody. Whether or not everybody actually had a main role, you saw them at some point walking around the Watchtower.
Right.
But no, Injustice 2 is looking pretty good.
It does. I'm a little skeptical about the gear system, though. It might be interesting. It probably won't be in online.
Well, didn't they say that it was going to be online, but there was going to be very strict limitations to what you could use?
I think there was a certain cap for it.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to...
So they're going to do like the standard MMO gear system thing where each piece of armor has a certain level score. Yeah. And then like it's going to cap out at like 250 level score for each piece of gear.
I believe so, yeah.
But that being said, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be some unbalanced pieces. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they work this one out.
Yeah. Ed Boon actually did a poll a couple days ago about who he wants the fans to see in Injustice.
Wasn't it just on the other page there? I think you were already on it.
Next, but I can't remember who all was the choices, but number one was Starfire. As a main vote to be in Injustice 2.
Starfire's not a bad pick.
No.
I think she would fit very well with she would fit very well in the cast. Like her power set and everything. They would definitely be a fit, and I could see her having some pretty fun matches to watch.
Yeah. She would. We got some miscellaneous stuff, basically. Yeah,
that's the only thing on there.
Well, miscellaneous.
We're rounding up now.
Yeah, I know. Can't believe it. I mean,
we've been going for almost an hour now.
Yeah, I know, right? So let's see. So we got a lot of stuff coming out, this year. Game wise, we got King of Fighters coming up. Well, scratch that. King of Fighters 14 is already out. It broke street date early. But we have Resident Evil 4 for PS4 and Xbox One, which you said you got pre-ordered already.
Yep. Amazon Prime.
Yep.
It's coming out the 30th of this month, I believe.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's coming. It's supposed to come out on a Saturday.
Amazon said it was on the 30th.
I'll take a look at that release date someday. But anyways,
who knows? I'll probably get it early. That's how Amazon's been working. Yeah. All their pre-order stuff usually comes the day of or a day early. So, who knows?
I'm actually looking forward to a couple things this year that's coming out. Final Fantasy 15, it got delayed to October, I believe. Reading an article on this, was coming out in September. These kids coming out in October, November.
Which I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that too, because
it's not 13 verses anymore.
Exactly.
The game that got pushed back for like 7 years.
15 it looks really, really fun to play. Like I played both the demos that came out.
I haven't played the second one yet. I've only played Episode du Sky.
Yeah, Episode du Sky was actually, you can do more stuff in that than the Platinum demo.
Yeah, which
is weird.
15 in general is just weird to me.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, no, I want Final Fantasy. I want my turn base. Then the other part of me is like, this is kind of Kingdom Hearts 3. Because we don't know when that's happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of, though, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 is coming out in December.
That was actually going to be my next one. That was actually going to be my next thing, was Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Because I actually never finished Dream Drop Distance.
I've never even played Dream Drop Distance.
It's pretty cool, though.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Oh, it's great.
I played all of them except for Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance. Those are the only two I haven't played. And I believe we're going to get Birth by Sleep, the final mix.
No, that was in...
that was in 2?
That was in the 2.5.
Then the one we're getting in...
The one we're getting in December at 2.8 is Dream Drop Distance. There was another one which features Aqua and then Fragmented Key, which is like a cinematic origin story. Basically, it's not you don't play, you just watch.
Which I kind of like. I kind of like that they did that for the DS games.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Especially because 352 over 8 days or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they would make like that go in current generation hardware from a DS. Things like that.
You know what I'm really interested to see? This fits with what we're talking about. It's Black Cover. Birth by Sleep, a Fragmented Passage.
That's the one.
Fragmentary Passage, and then Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
Earlier, I think it was last year, somebody leaked 2 images of it being on Amazon. The first image was Final Fantasy X and X-2 coming to PS4.
Which it did.
It did. They also leaked Kingdom Hearts Collection, which is 1.5 and 2.5 for PS4. And I have not seen anything on it since.
I know, neither have I.
I'm really hoping that either before 2.8 comes out or maybe even a little bit after it comes out, that we get that, because I would absolutely love to have all those games on PS4.
I would platinum the crap out of those again.
I would never buy another game again, I swear. I'd play that all the time. Like
what's Battlefield? But speaking of games, the Neo beta is going to start from August 23rd through September 6th for PS4. Which that'll be fun. I get to go back and die again. Many times over.
Neo, and I'm a huge Dark Souls fan.
Right.
Play the crap out of them. Neo was pretty tough. And I haven't felt that kind of pressure from the game since Demon's Souls.
The first time I played, I didn't even make 10 steps.
I didn't complete the demo by any means, but I got decently far. It was a very, very steep learning curve because they don't really teach you things. You got to learn everything like the second you log into that game.
Yeah.
Because the way you learn is you grab like little spirit ball things.
Yeah.
That were scattered throughout the level.
Right.
The problem was you couldn't get to them because you get your ass handed to you.
Exactly.
So you'd have to learn everything beforehand and then go relearn everything and get irritated because you're like, well, what the fuck didn't you teach me that like 20 minutes ago?
Right.
When I was fighting the first guy. But I think that game is going to be super, super good.
Yeah.
Because it's already more diverse and in depth than Dark Souls was, because you have the one weapon, but you have 3 fighting styles for each weapon.
Right.
So that's going to be very, very fun. I'm excited for that one.
Rise of the Tomb Raider 20th Anniversary Edition is coming out for PS4 later this year, I believe in November, and that'll be the first time PS4 owners will get to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. I played it on the Xbox One. It was like amazing. Rise of the Tomb Raider was like the sequel that was way better than expected.
Yeah.
You know, because it just basically made me forget that was the first Tomb Raider game because it was that good.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I'm looking forward to that as well. South Park, Fractured Butthole.
Speaking of, did you see their because you know South Park, they always do some kind of gag thing whenever they talk about something.
Yeah.
Did you see what they made and or releasing for Fractured Butthole?
No, I did not.
They have a VR system, and it doesn't go over your eyes. It goes over your nose, and anytime your character farts in the game, you smell it.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah. I'll put a picture up on here, but it's interesting.
There's also news of there's a rumor that the Mass Effect trilogy remaster might happen.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That'll be kind of interesting because it's so funny. I've never beaten any of those 3.
It's welcome. It depends on how they do it, though. Because I absolutely love the series. It's a great series.
Yeah.
I would love to see them really, really touch up the first game and give it better controls.
Yeah.
Versus just them being like, here's the same exact game. We just made everything look crisp and upscaled.
Isn't that what HD remasters are, anyways?
That's a really big great. There's the yeah.
That's like collector's edition then.
It's a big gray area with HD remasters because some places or some companies will actually just take the same game, copy and paste it, upscale it, and add some extra features that they couldn't exactly do in the video side of things, like ambient diffusion and shit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe changing the view distance and the drop distance, stuff like that. And then we have Nintendo, who physically remade a game from the ground up. Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't the same game, just copy and paste it. Like they actually changed it.
Interesting.
But no, some companies just
I
copy
don't
and
have a
paste.
Wii U, so I kind of don't know.
It's a big deal in the world of remasters. But point is, some companies copy and paste. Other companies actually rebuild from the ground up. Funny thing, Kingdom Hearts 1 was actually rebuilt.
Exactly, because they lost all their assets during that tsunami.
Yeah.
And so they basically built it from the ground up, which is great.
Because you can't even tell.
Well,
like it is damn good.
It looks like the PS2 game with upscaled graphics. And then when I found out it was actually built from the ground up and it actually plays like it's supposed to play, yeah.
See, when I heard that, I was like, "There's no way. There's absolutely no way." And then I looked into it myself and I was like, "Holy shit!" Because it's a carbon copy that they remade. That's impressive.
Yeah. What else you have for us tonight?
That's it on the agenda. We hit everything. We got Metal Gear, the September update for Street Fighter.
Don't get me started on Metal Gear again, man. Don't buy the game. Well, buy the game if you want, but I don't know. I'm not gonna buy the game.
It's up to you guys to determine if you want to get that.
I'm
or
not
not.
gonna buy it.
I don't think it's
gonna tank. It's gonna be a crock of shit. We all know that.
I guarantee it's already gonna get bad reviews just for using
the Metal Gear name.
The Metal Gear name.
Oh, Metacritic is gonna have a nice shitstorm from the users.
Yeah. That's why I said if they didn't brand it as Metal Gear, it might actually be a decent game.
I might. It's like if what if Activision released a Call of Duty game but not call it Call of Duty? People would get hyped over that shit.
I don't know. They might, but they might not.
Probably not.
But they could release a racing game and call it Call of Duty and everybody would jump on that.
Probably.
Use a Call of Duty name on something that isn't Call of Duty.
Well, that is all the time we have for you folks. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Remember, like, rate, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter as well at Arnezy619, at Alpha Chaos 13. We also stream as well. Same names as our Twitter.
Yeah.
Trust me, because we
made it easy.
Uniform, unity, and all that good shit. So we will see you next time.